and I'm quoting here, actively taking sniper fire even now. The situation is developing so quickly that officials say it's not clear how many shooters there are or even how many days this could be resolved quickly. The county sheriff's office telling people to shelter in. They're looking at some of the images coming into us late tonight. Maya Eaglin is tracking all of this for us tonight. Maya, what else do we know?
Hi, Holly. Well, this happened in Kootenai County near Coeur d'Alene in northern Idaho. The sheriff there says at least 2 people are dead and an unknown number of people are hurt on Canfield Mountain. Here's the sheriff a short time ago.
We still have civilian we might have civilians that are stuck or on that mountain. So this is a very, very fresh situation. We are actively taking sniper fire as we speak.
He says they don't know if there's one or multiple suspects. Officials say if the suspect is not neutralized quickly, they expect this to be a multi-day operation. The sheriff describing the scene that is still very active tonight and that it appears high-powered rifles are being used. It started around 1:20 p.m. local time with reports of a fire. Then around 2 p.m. is when officials say they received reports of firefighters taking shots. Idaho's governor tonight asking people there to pray for the firefighters and their families and to stay clear of the area. Hallie?
Maya Eaglin, thank you. For more on this, let's bring in NBC's law enforcement analyst, Jim Kavanaugh, who's with us now. Jim, a very intense scene for first responders, given how they became targets with so much. Help us understand what's happening on the ground right now.
Well, it looks like a set-up ambush, a brush fire, call in, the firefighters arrive, and they're taking fire obviously from somebody with a rifle, one or more, and they kill 2 firefighters and wound some others who may be in serious condition. So a very exacerbated situation, Hallie, up there, and nightfall's coming. Are the shooter or shooters still in the brush, and the fire's still burning? So the commanders have decisions to make. How can they put that fire out? They've got to protect firefighters. Do they let it burn for a while? Do they try to flush them out? They use their infrared equipment on the helicopters tonight to see if somebody's still in the woods. But they could have got out as well. It sounds like it was a planned ambush. So it's a very, very dangerous situation in Idaho at the moment, Haley.
Part of the difficulty, too, part of the confusion, it's not clear, as the sheriff made clear, it is not at all clear how many people are attacking the firefighters and the other first responders up there.
That's exactly right. And you got a shooter shooting firefighters with a rifle in cold blood, knowing those firefighters are not armed, they're not law enforcement, they're not carrying firearms. Very cold-blooded to set an ambush like that. So you got very dangerous 1 or more people involved. It's tough to find them in a mountainous area like that. They may have some skills in mountaineering, so it's going to be a tough night in Idaho.
Jim Kavanaugh, thank you for bringing us your expertise and your analysis. We're going to be watching that very closely as it continues to unfold. We are also watching what's happening in Washington, where lawmakers are inching closer to a vote on President Trump's so-called big, beautiful bill, with Democrats doing everything in their power to try to slow down the process. Our Ryan Nobles reports from Capitol Hill.
Tonight, Democrats forcing the Senate clerk to spend nearly 16 hours reading every word of what President Donald Trump has dubbed his big, beautiful bill.
139L, the following new.
That bill could add more than $3 trillion to the deficit over the next 10 years. The GOP wants to overhaul social programs like SNAP, also known as food stamps, and Medicaid. The cuts to Medicaid are what led North Carolina Republican Senator Thom Tillis to vote against moving the bill forward, prompting threats from President Trump to meet with primary challengers. Then today, in a shocking announcement, Tillis announced he would not seek re-election and slammed gridlock in Washington. The Senate's bill would tweak the way states receive Medicaid funds, reducing the amount they take in via a special tax, instead creating a $25 billion fund to help support rural hospitals. The new funding formula leaving people like Sierra Matthews from Missouri, her hospital could shut down.
With small rural area already, is that another 2-hour drive? Is that a 3-hour drive just to see a doctor?
Democrats argue the bill's growth is out of control.
This bill stinks. It's a moral abomination. Everybody that learns about it hates it.
It's filled with special carve-outs, like $8 billion retired discovery from a museum in Virginia to Texas. the creation of a $1,000 Trump saving account for all newborns, and requiring a $100 fee for anyone applying for asylum.
President Trump is popular, and the bill is extremely popular.
Our chief Capitol Hill correspondent Ryan Nobles is at his post tonight. And Ryan, important to point out, things could change in this bill even overnight.
Yeah, that's right, Hallie. After the debate wrapped, process called a vote-a-rama, where every single senator has an opportunity to tweak the language in this bill. But those Medicaid changes, which Senator Tillis voted against, they will likely make it through. And we're learning tonight from a source, the Trump family, that the president's daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, may be eyeing Tillis' seat in the upcoming 2026 midterms. Hallie?
Plenty to watch. Ryan Nobles for us there at the Capitol. Thank you. From the White House, President Trump is watching all of it, ready to ramp up pressure, new moves on another signature.
Tonight, the president with potentially defining days ahead for his Republican Party in Washington. The passage of its major package on the...
As long as we have, it's very important.
Trump writing in one post, very proud of the Republican Party tonight. This major domestic challenge as questions persist about the effectiveness of last weekend's bombings of Iran's nuclear facilities.
There is, of course, an important setback in those capabilities.
The chief of the International Atomic Energy White House's claims that Iran's nuclear program is obliterated, saying the country could produce enriched uranium again in, quote, a matter of months.
Frankly speaking, one cannot claim that everything has disappeared and there is nothing there.
The president also threatening today to cut off federal funding to New York City if Democratic nominee Zoran Mamdani is elected mayor in November.
If he does get in, I'm going to be president, and he's going to have to do the right thing, or they're not getting any money.
Mamdani on Meet the Press ahead of a potential run-in with the White House over deportation efforts.
We have to stand up and fight back.
The administration's mass deportation effort set to receive a major financial boost if the more than $150 billion. The president today, however, also now explicitly suggesting the creation of a new immigrant worker program for some farm and hotel workers, those undocumented but already in the country.
We're working on it right now. We're going to work it so that some kind of a temporary pass where people pay taxes, where the farmer can have a little control.
And Vaughn Hilliard is joining us now from the North Lawn. Vaughn, the president suggesting a new group is born. Talk?
That's what the president is saying, Hallie, but only noting that it is a group of very wealthy people and that he'll probably be able to say in about 2 weeks. Now, TikTok is facing a ban in the U.S. if a deal is not struck. Hallie?
Vaughn Hilliard at the White House. Thank you. We are also tracking dangerous weather across the country tonight. Over the last 48 hours, and millions now under heat alerts. Aaron Gilchrist has the latest.
Summer severe weather on an unrelenting march across the U.S. Storm chasers in South Dakota capturing an outbreak of twisters barreling through the open plains. Violent swirling funnels snatching up trees, power lines, and other debris. 15 reported tornadoes touched down in the Dakotas and Minnesota on Saturday alone.
Nothing hit the barn. They came close, but nobody was hurt.
There's waves. There's actual waves. Look at that car. It is submerged.
The southeast battered for days on end by torrents of rain from afternoon thunderstorms. Atlanta drivers slow rolling through flash flooding on city streets and on highways. Then there's the heat. 15 million people across the country under alerts through Tuesday. And southern 15 degrees. In Phoenix today, officials say firefighters rescued a family of 11 hikers. Children complained about heat exhaustion. The hot, dry conditions complicating a new firefight in California as teams battle walls of flames trying to knock down the lake fire, growing to nearly 500 acres in less than 24 hours. Right now, it's only 10% contained.
Aaron joins us now from Atlanta. And Aaron, with a big travel week for a lot of people, any good news to report on holiday week weather?
Well, Hallie, this area, the Midwest, the Mid-Atlantic, could still see some wind, some lightning, and some flash flooding, but the severe weather is down tomorrow and Tuesday with the 4th of July looking picture perfect for most of the country. Hallie?
Nice to hear. Aaron Gilchrist in Atlanta.